Ghost Yotei is finally here, and the main story is nearly unplayable. Because the world and side content is just that good. Ghost Yotei is one of those games that seems so divisive online, but the second you boot it up, all that fades away. I'm just completely absorbed and enthralled in the world and content of Ghost of Yotei. I really enjoyed Tsushima, but one nitpick I had with it was at times the side content felt a little repetitive. Now, because the bones of the game were so excellent, this really wasn't a huge issue for me, but Yotei eliminated that entirely. For the first 7 hours of my playthrough, I thought I was progressing the main story, only to learn that I'd been traveling around the map doing little side quests and unlocking new weapons. Even now, I go into Yotei with the intention to progress the story, but get completely sidetracked because I need to help someone calm their horse, infiltrate a gambling den filled with Ronin, which leads to a co-op stealth mission where my new homie has to cover my back with his gun while I initiate a ground assault. I mean, I find myself just naturally progressing my own path in the side content, which is typically due to the incredible world design. Paths are set out for you for the most part, but they're completely invisible. You'll do a shrine to get a charm and spot a village that is under control by Saito's men, which are the bad guys. You'll liberate that, and if you're lucky, you can get some info in an interrogation that will lead you on to your next adventure. The side content has a number of repeat missions, but it also has these exciting side missions that will lead you to a minigame you'll spend an unreasonable amount of time on. Nope, that was just me. Okay. I like that the game lays out a clear path of progression, but just lets you tackle it any way you want. If you're using your scope, you can look around the world and see areas of interest from a distance. I mean, it does give you this great sense of freedom, even in a story-driven game where, for the most part, all the events are scripted. You'll find bounties you didn't know about, fox dens, people in need, and it typically leads to something really cool, or at least a really cool viewpoint. I'm really enjoying just getting entranced into the side content, and I can't emphasize enough how well Sucker Punch did in improving the side content and the gameplay loop from Ghost of Tsushima. It doesn't just do its job at being a samurai or Ronin simulator, it excels at it. I mean, you have the opportunity to track down bounties, stop bad guys, build your arsenal, and have really cool armor sets. I mean, there's just so much you can do in this game that makes that sense of discovery. And most of the time, you're already enjoying discovering the world. You're getting great rewards. Like I said, armors, weapons, weapon kits. It's like the dyes and money to buy from all the vendors. It's just so fun and really puts fun first, which I think every game should do, but nowadays, not every game does. A lot of times, they get so stuck on like microtransactions and how to sell you. I like that Ghost of Yotei, they did their job. They sold the game, and now you can just enjoy it and be entranced in it. I was playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I was having a relatively good time with it, but there's something about logging into a game and immediately seeing them try to sell you stuff that just kind of takes you out of it. And that side content in Shadows is not nearly as good as it is in Yotei. Now, I don't want to sit here and trash Shadows and Ubisoft. There's already enough people doing that on the internet. It's just nice to highlight a game that feels like it was worth my money, which most games don't nowadays. Honestly, a lot of the times I'll buy a brand new game and I'll be disappointed that the content didn't really match the price tag. I mean, $100 for games is crazy, but you'd think that with $100 of our money, we would be getting a great experience. So I'm really enjoying Ghost of Yotei, and I want to tell people about it because I want to promote good games. I mean, I launched this game and it worked, which you guys know is like a miracle now. I recall playing Tsushima for the first time and thinking, wow, we are really getting to the pinnacle of beautiful open worlds and graphical fidelity. But I was wrong. This is the pinnacle now, okay? There are really only 2, maybe 3 games that I remember being so completely entranced by. Elden Ring and Red Dead Redemption 2, but I think it's safe to say I'm going to add Yotei to this list. Sucker Punch has crafted such an incredible and detailed world. Yotei looks so beautiful and diverse. The regions in this game vary so greatly and have so much personality. My first time entering the land controlled by the Oni, the Ishikari Plain, really took my breath away for like the 50th time in this playthrough. The Crimson Forest is stunning but intimidating, brimming with bounty hunters looking for the ghost, Oni hunting Matsumai Samurai, and a castle overlooking it all, controlled by one of the most vicious members of the Six, the Oni. I can't tell you how many times I completed a shrine or a fox den and just got caught up in all of it. Looking around at the incredible landscape, this game constantly surprises me and surpasses my expectations for what a game could look like. One thing I think everyone had the highest expectations for was the gameplay, but more specifically the combat of Tsushima returning. Debatably its strongest feature, unsurprisingly, it delivers and even takes a pretty considerable risk. Yotei dropped stances from Tsushima for weapons, and I think this was an excellent change, not only because it makes those stances from Tsushima a unique feature you can look forward to returning to, but because it offers so much gameplay variation. I haven't found a useless weapon yet. I really love using dual katanas because it's badass. They all have different advantages, like the spear catches fish, or the heavy katana breaks stances and defeats bad guys.
Nice.
The flow of Yotei's combat is excellent. Now, there's a lot more enemies thrown at you in one encounter than there was in Tsushima, so it can be a little overwhelming at times, but you are given ample tools to deal with them, including a wolf, which can spawn in during the wolf missions or just randomly, that helps you take down your enemies, which is insanely cool every time it happens. It's no surprise that Yotei has such excellent combat because of the studio that it spawned from. Unfortunately, Yotei did seem to give more of a backseat to stealth. I find there isn't as many opportunities for stealth like there was in Tsushima, maybe because one of the major themes of the first game was a samurai abandoning his code to protect his home, and sneaking up on your enemies was definitely a code breaker. But Yotei gives you less opportunities and often louder weapons, which results in less stealth encounters for the most part. I still go in quiet quite a bit, and when I can do the stealth, it's excellent. You've just got a little less pots in the kitchen to cook with. So far, I really like the new protagonist, Atsu. I think her goal is maybe a little more depressing than Jin's was in the first. Spoiler alert, she wishes to find vengeance for her family and then die. But I think Atsu is a really believable protagonist in her origin, as it's born out of tragedy, which leads her on a path of destruction and vengeance. I know a lot of fans aren't happy that Jin didn't return, and I understand. Jin had a great story, but I believe his character arc was completed for the most part. That chapter was closed with one of the most memorable endings I've ever played through. I like that Jin and Atsu are very different and have very different goals. Sometimes stories have a bad habit, especially nowadays, of retreading what once worked to the point it taints the legacy of the original. Think about reboots, sequels that you wish didn't come out because it didn't live up to the hype of the first game or the first movie. Yotei is its own excellent tale that took the bold choice to walk away from Jin, a character we really like, to tell a new story in a new era, much like the return of Infamous dropping their poster boy, Cole. If it's not already abundantly clear, I really like Ghost of Yotei. I like the gameplay loop, I like the open world, I think the story is interesting, I think Atsu is interesting, and I have seen parts of the internet love it, parts of them that hate it. I guess I would fall into the love it part. I think it's a great game. I think it's worth it. Of course, let me know what you think in the comments. This is a very subjective video, very much just an opinion, which is dangerous online, I understand that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Ghost of Yotei. I think Sucker Punch did a great job. It was a worthy successor to Ghost of Tsushima. But thanks so much for watching. I'll have another one cooked up for you soon. I'll see you in the next one.